Hi everyone, this is an introduction to adding value to audits using the process approach, or a.k.a. turtle diagrams. There are four basic types of audits that companies do. One is the element approach, one's the procedural approach, product approach, and process approach. The only one that's actually specifically spelled out in ISO 1345 is the process approach. It's in clause 0.2. But a lot of companies don't even know what that really is. They think that because they're auditing a process, they must be using the process approach. But when you actually learn what the process approach is, you'll discover that's not quite the case. It's much more likely that they're following the element approach, the procedural approach. Here's an example of the element approach. I go into more detail on this in the webinar training, but it gives you an example using a checklist. And a lot of companies use checklists. So if you're using a checklist, you're probably using the element approach. Not necessarily wrong, it's just one of the techniques. Here's another approach, the procedural approach. One of the best practices here is to pull out a highlighter, pull out your procedure, and highlight the things that you intend to verify during your audit. So that's a great technique that I see a lot of auditors use, and it's a great tool to help a new auditor that's auditing procedures. But that isn't the best and most efficient process for auditing. The most efficient process is the process approach. A lot of companies also have trouble with process interaction diagrams. They don't know how to create one. They copy what's out of the guidance documents in ISO 14969, and that's not what a process interaction diagram should be. It should be specific to your company and your processes. Even this one that I show here is generic because it doesn't specifically call out any procedures. For instance, it doesn't call out System 004, my training procedure, or document control, System 001. So it really should be specific to your company and specific to the procedures that you're using for each of those processes, not generic and listing out just clauses. When you create a turtle diagram or use the process approach, the turtle diagram is one of the tools you're going to use to document your process approach to auditing. And I'm going to go into detail with that with lots of variations. And here's one variation. This is a turtle diagram, and you might have wondered why it's a turtle diagram or why they use that name, but you're going to have to see the webinar to get that information. But this diagram might help you just by the shape of it. But this shows you one of the variations that I show people on how to use the process approach to auditing in turtle diagrams during an audit. Another thing that I introduced in the training is a theory on process approach to auditing that's new and I found really helpful for me to help plan my audit program. It's called adjacent link auditing. And I explain in an article that I provided a hyperlink at the bottom of the page for. So this is the hyperlink, adjacent link auditing. If you click on that in the slide deck, it'll take you right to the page where I have an article that I wrote for BoneZone where I introduced the concept of adjacent link auditing. And this was a concept that was developed by Bridget Glass and myself. She's in New Zealand, and she's a quality system consultant. The adjacent links are the core processes that take you from one step to the next, like purchasing to receiving inspection. And the adjoining links are the things that are support processes like document control, calibration, maintenance, that connect these processes and make them work better. And here's an example of a turtle diagram again, but I've combined the two concepts of adjacent link auditing with the turtle diagram. And so now instead of that oval and the 6 arrows, now you have the oval that's the adjacent link, and the adjoining links are each of the arrows. So that might help you understand a little bit more how the two concepts work together. If you purchase this webinar, you're not only going to get the webinar, you're going to get the slide deck in native format that you can edit. You're going to get the webinar recording, but you're also going to get all these other things too. So if you're interested in learning how to do a process approach to auditing and learning in detail how to do turtle diagrams, please visit our website and purchase this webinar. Thank you.